Hello there, I'm James and welcome back to the Rebel Base Builds, and on this episode we're going to be doing two things. The first one is a mashup Boba Fett figure as seen in the Book of Boba Fett. I'm going to be using Jango Fett and Darth Maul figures from the early 2000s. I'm also creating the Bacta Tank as seen in the show. Let's check out the builds. Let's build Boba. I'm going to use Jango Fett and Darth Maul from the early 2000s. And as you can see, I've got doubles. Don't worry, I'm going to save one of these Darth Mauls and cut the other one in half. Pretty sure that's already happened to this guy before. I really like the skirt and the legs. That's the bit I'm going to use. I found online a trick to make this easier. You basically put your figures in nearly boiling water. It softens the plastic just enough to enable you to pull the arms and legs off without too much pressure at all. I'm not sure why I pulled the arms off in the end. I don't really need them, but it did make cutting off that skirt a bit easier. And here's Jango. Cut him in half, chucked away those legs. Didn't really need them. Yep, there we go. Mutilated Darth Maul. Got that bottom half, offered it up to Jango's top half, and actually, looks like it's going to work. The legs were a bit baggy, so I cut those down using a Stanley knife. Once I was happy, I just gave it all a bit of a primer. Now, I know this guy is a bit skinnier than how Boba currently appears in the show. I'm using a tire matte black paint here because I didn't really want the fabric to be too shiny. And yes, I know there's way too much paint on my brush. I'm still learning this whole miniature painting lark. I mixed up some green paint that looks just about the right colour for the armour. It's more about the end result. And from a distance, this doesn't look too bad. Look, he's gone on a trip to see last episode's build. He actually looks pretty good there. Anyway, that's enough frivolity. Let's get on with actually building the Boba Fett Bacta Tank. So 3D modelling for me is basically building things out of boxes and pots and rubbish I used to build things with as a kid. Building it in 3D is the same. I'm still building this. I'm still planning it. I'm still tweaking it. I'm just doing it with a digital tool. Don't you think it's magic that you can build something in a computer virtually and then print it out? I know we take it for granted, and there's many people that print out many different things. But if you just take 1 minute to think about that technology, it's quite magic. And as you can see here, I'm using 3D Max again. I create all of my models by starting with basic geometric shapes, like a cylinder or a box. Over time I use the different tools to create the shapes I need. Now printing this out, I'm using the Nova 3D Whale 2, which I was gifted by the amazing people over at Nova 3D. Everything about this printer is robust. It's huge and it does a really nice job. And there you see, really crisp prints. Amazing to think that was just in my virtual 3D editor a few hours before. And here it is in my hands. It still blows my mind when I think about this technology. Okay, for painting, I kept it simple. A grey primer and a white satin spray. Well, this is a great time to talk about my Patreon page. This model, along with lots of other miniature and room build Grievous, is available. This is in kit form, which allows you to print it out and build it yourself. Checking out the wiring, I use these awesome little clips to make creating the circuit a whole lot easier. Pre-wired LEDs that I set into the alcove using hot glue, a pre-wired battery pack, and those connectors just made the whole thing so much easier. I used this cool hand tool to drill a hole through the resin. This was so that I could push the wires from the LED through to the alcove underneath, where you can fit a battery box. Look at that, magic. You can see here the design enables this to act as an open and closed lid, just like in the show. A little bit of low tech for you here, piece of plastic for the window. I modelled 2 grooves at each side of the arch. This allows the plastic to just clip in place. This is the bed pad, and you can see the little control panel that Boba uses to open the lid when he's inside the Bacta tank. I've got to say, this is one of my favourite parts of pretty much any build, the weathering. And I'm loving this weathering powder. So far it's worked on pretty much anything I've tried it on, and the process is just so enjoyable. Check it out. I purposely over-weathered this because I wanted to remove the highlights using an alcohol wash. The device doesn't appear too messy in the show, but it is in the top of Jabba's palace, and there is an open window, so my theory is that it would collect sand and dust over time. The good thing about this weathering powder is it adheres to the surface so nicely, and it kind of just gathers in all of the crevices. I gotta say, I'm really happy with how this has turned out. It's my first go at making a diorama that's to scale, and usable as a playset. Eventually I'm going to add to this with the background archways and the droids that help Boba suit up. Well guys, that was great fun. I hope you enjoyed watching it, and until next time, go create something from a galaxy far, far away.